Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day. If you don't know who I am, my name is SimBits. I'm a VTuber who plays mostly cozy games, some horror games, and a lot of restaurant sims. But today we're going to do something a little different. I wanted to do a Q&A, just because my channel's been growing a little faster than normal recently. So there's a bunch of new people who don't know who I am, and I think it'd be a lot of fun for the people who've also been here for a while. So I gathered a bunch of questions from you guys, and I wrote them all down, and I didn't script any answers, so this might be a little rambly and a little silly, but I just think it's more fun and authentic that way. But without further ado, let's get started. Just move myself over a little bit. So first things first, my name is Paige. You can call me Paige or SimBits or Sim, whatever you'd prefer. And the first question I got is, how old are you? I am 26 years old. It sounds very young, but I feel ancient. Next question, I actually got this question from multiple people, is how tall are you? I am 5'4", so nothing really exciting. I'm not too short, I'm not too tall, I'm exactly average height. Well, at least in America, which is also the next question. What country are you from? I am from America. Without giving any specific details, I grew up in the northern half of the country, and then when I was an adult, I moved to the southern half of the country, and now I die of heat stroke every single summer, and it sucks. Next question is, what is your favorite food? My favorite food is sushi. I could eat it until I get sick. There was this one candied yam sushi that I had at a restaurant once. I think about it all the time. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Next question I'm super excited about. It says, can you name all your pets? Gladly, absolutely. So first thing that you need to know about me is I am a crazy bird lady. I have 3 birds. I have a Quaker parrot named Odie, spelled O-A-T-Y, because, you know, Quaker oats is a pun. And then I have 2 conures. One is Butter and the other one is Coco. So together their couple name is Cocoa Butter. I wish I could take credit for that one, but they came with the name. Someone at the pet store thought it was funny. I also have a gray cat named Blue. He is a giant, whiny baby. Emphasis on giant. He's very big. Like, he's not a fat cat. He's like really lean. He's just really big. But his full name is Sir Beauregard, and yes, I did name him after Beauregard from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Next question is, how did you get your start on YouTube? So, I actually started this channel a couple years ago, but I also had an old channel when I was like 12 years old. It was basically like a, I don't know how to explain it, like a kind of iCarly-esque thing, but it wasn't with real people. Back then, YouTube had its own like quote-unquote animation program where you could like make your own cartoons and stuff, so I did that, and it was really lame, but I had a lot of fun. So I've always really been interested in YouTube, but I just started getting serious about it a couple years ago. The next question is, are there any YouTubers that inspired you and influenced your content? So I watch a lot of gaming content. Obviously I love the Game Grumps and Markiplier, you know, like the basics, Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye is actually one of the big reasons why I don't like do a ton of editing and like jump cuts and stuff, because he just like plays a game and enjoys it and doesn't like jump cut every 5 seconds, and it's very relaxing. I like it a lot. I'm probably gonna make a video in the future talking about like the specific YouTubers that I like really like and I watch a lot. But people like, you know, Charlie Barley, Therm, Shawnee Do, Floydson, you know, just a lot of gaming content. I also like Drawfee a ton, but that's a conversation for another day. They don't really influence my content very much, just my personality. I love Drawfee. They're the best. But a huge inspiration for me in the last couple months has been Glasses Journal. They're a variety streamer who does like cozy games, retro games, and stuff. But she's the one who specifically inspired me to become a VTuber slash like PNG tuber, because I wasn't really super into that before. Like, I liked VTubers, but I didn't really watch a lot of them, and I never really thought that with my terrible equipment and terrible Wi-Fi that I would ever be able to be a VTuber. Like, that's crazy. It's too much technology for me. I mean, obviously I figured it out. But yeah, she was a huge inspiration and like basically the reason I got into being a VTuber and a PNG tuber in the first place. So thank you, Glasses. You the best, and I love your content. And that leads perfectly into the next question. Why are you a VTuber? And no, the answer is not that I'm ugly and I live in my parents' basement. I live in my parents' house, not the basement. And I'm only moderately ugly. But the reason I'm a VTuber is just kind of for like comfort and privacy. The main reason I didn't want to show my face on the internet is all of the deepfake stuff and like people making AI porn videos with like big creators' faces. It just freaked me out. I don't ever want that to happen to me, and it's just safer in general, you know? The next question is, did you make your VTuber models? No. I want to be very, very clear because I've gotten a couple comments that are like, oh my gosh, I love your art style. Thank you. This is not my art style. I do make my own art, but my VTuber models specifically are made by other people, and I will make sure that I have them linked down below. This is the Mo model. They have a free version and a paid version. I get a lot of comments talking about like Omori. I actually haven't played that game, but I will in the future. It's coming pretty soon. But I assume that they were inspired by Omori for this one, which is pretty cool. I haven't really seen any spoilers from that game, but I've seen art from it. It's pretty cool. I did, however, make my PNG tubers. I'm not like the best artist, but I've been drawing since I was little, and I enjoy it, you know? So my PNG tubers are my own art, but my VTuber models are not, because I am not smart enough to figure out how to make my own VTuber model. I could probably draw it, but like the rigging and stuff, no, not even close. Somebody asked, will you ever do a face reveal? Probably not. Again, for all those safety reasons that I mentioned before. I'd like to stay a little bit more anonymous on the internet if I can. Next question, when did you start doing digital art? I have been drawing since I was like a little kid, but I think digital art I started when I was like 11? Something around there. I would love to be able to see my old art on my DeviantArt account, but I deleted it when I turned like 14 or 15 because I thought it was cringe, and now not even the Wayback Machine can help me out. So there's a lot of old cringe art that's just been lost to the void, which is very unfortunate. If you're young and watching this, please don't delete your art. You're gonna be really sad about it when you get older. I do have a current DeviantArt account though. I don't really draw very often, but I do have like a side project going where I'm trying to draw every single Vocaloid that's ever existed. And I think I'm on part like 9 or something? Either way, I'll leave it linked in the description and you guys can check out my art. I'm not very good, so don't get your hopes up, but I mean, I enjoy it, so why not? Next question is, what's your favorite thing about being a YouTuber? Honestly, I think I just like geeking out over games that I really like and having other people also geek out about those same games. I get to share something that I love and see that other people also love it, and it's just really nice. It's a nice community. Next question is, do you do lives on YouTube? So my internet is absolutely atrocious, so I've done 2 lives before, but they were when I was out of town, where I actually had good Wi-Fi. I might be getting good Wi-Fi in the next couple years, but I mean, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, I'm probably not going to be going live anytime soon. Sorry. I would if I had better internet. I really liked doing it. It was fun. Next question is, do you have any advice for upcoming YouTubers? Be prepared to do this for years and never see anything come of it. Obviously, my growth has been like extremely slow. I'm fine with that. I like having a small audience. I'm mostly doing this for fun. I recently got monetized, but I make like no money doing this. It's really just a hobby for me, and I like playing games, and it's more motivation for me to like play games instead of sitting and staring at my phone all day. So if you're going into it for money, don't. You're not gonna make any money. Just do it for a hobby. Not very many people blow up, and most people just like give up because it's really hard to grow. It's nearly impossible to make any money on it. So, you know, do it for fun. Try not to make it a career. It's not a good idea. Very few people actually blow up. Next question is, what device do you use for gaming? So this is gonna be really embarrassing. I am not one of those people who's smart enough to like have built my own PC. I've heard that it's not as hard as it looks. I don't believe you. But I just got a pre-built PC on Amazon. I know, evil Amazon, I'm sorry. I play with a mouse and keyboard, sometimes with an old Xbox controller that I stole from my dad. It's okay, I'm just joking, he gave it to me. I mean, I'm on Windows 11. I don't really have any more information, I'm so sorry. Next question is, what do you use to edit your content? So I use Wondershare Filmora. Don't do that. Don't do that. It was advertised to me by a YouTuber that I liked years ago, and they got me in on a like 50% off deal. It's very like user friendly. That's what I really like about it. Back in the day, I was using like a more professional editing software, and it was just, oh, it's so hard. I need it to be very easy and user-friendly, so Filmora is pretty good for that, but they have a lot of problems and a lot of negative reviews for a reason. The subscription model kinda sucks, and it's like very expensive for what it is. The only reason I'm not on a subscription is because I bought the software, which means I can never update it. I'm stuck at, I think, what am I at, 11? And I think they're at like 14 or something like that. But that means that I don't have access to any of the new content, and they also lost their license with like Giphy and stuff, so all of the content that I technically paid for is just not available anymore. So yeah, I use Filmora. Don't do that. I'm sure there's 1,000 other cheap and or free programs that you can use. I just haven't looked into it because, I mean, I'm using what I got. I already paid for it. Why not? Oh, and also I record my videos on OBS Studio, and I like it a lot. Highly recommend. Next question, when did you start Good Pizza, Great Pizza? I think I started playing it on my phone back in 2021? Early 2021, something like that. And when I found out that it came to Steam, I was really excited. So I started playing my personal file on my phone a couple years ago, and I think last year is when I started the series on YouTube. I'll have to look at it. And if I do, I'll put it right there. Next question, what's your favorite game to play on the channel? Currently it's Papa's Hot Doggeria. I'm really excited about that one. Like, I'm enjoying it so much. All the Papa's games are really fun, and I like playing Good Pizza, Great Pizza, and I like playing Good Coffee, Great Coffee, and all the other fun games that I play on this channel, but I get really excited to play Papa's Hot Doggeria. It's so fun, it's so satisfying, I love it. If you were a client in the food games you play, what would your order be? Papa's Hot Doggeria, I would probably get kielbasa on a pretzel bun with ketchup, mayonnaise, maybe some onions, and cheese, and a slice of bacon. And if it's a Good Pizza, Great Pizza, I'd probably just get a regular dough, regular sauce, cheese pizza with bacon and onions. Maybe jalapenos on half. Next question, are you going to play Terraria when the new update drops? Yes, I have been following Terraria in its development since the beginning, and I'm so excited for the next update. I know it's taking a long time. I don't know, did they say that it was supposed to be coming this year? I don't know. Even if it doesn't, it's fine. If it's next year, it's fine. They work really hard on it. We've had like 17,000 final updates, so I'm fine waiting. But I will probably do an actual series of Terraria as soon as the new update drops. Someone also asked, are you going to play more Tmod Loader? Absolutely. I love Tmod Loader. I just started getting into mods and it's very fun. I'm actually working on a modded video right now. I don't know when it's coming out, but keep your eyes peeled. Next question, what are some of your favorite games that you've beaten? Little Nightmares 2 is really good. Obviously Undertale. I may play Undertale on the channel soon, but I've just got so many projects in the works that, you know, don't hold your breath. It might be a little while, but Undertale, absolutely amazing. I literally cried at the end of Little Nightmares 2. That was awful. That was so heartbreaking, but that was also amazing. Oh, and technically Good Pizza, Great Pizza, because I finished chapter 5, so I guess I'm just achievement hunting at this point. Next question, will you ever play SNES or NES games on the channel? I'm not really super into the old Nintendo games. I love old GameCube games, so I might play some of those, like Super Mario Sunshine was the first game that I ever played. I was, I think, 4 when it came out, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I love Super Mario Sunshine. Maybe top 5 games of all time. So I may play that on the channel at some point, but probably no NES games. Next question, are you an introvert, extrovert, ambivert, or omnivert? I can't remember, ambivert or omnivert? Those are like kind of in the middle, right? I mean, I'm technically in the middle, but I'm mostly an introvert. I can go weeks without talking to people, and then I'll like call my mom or my sister on the phone and just talk to them for like 2 straight hours. But yeah, I'm pretty happy being alone. I don't really have any social need at all. I can go a really long time without hanging out with anybody. Next question is, can you tell us about your autism assessment and diagnosis? So, I want to preface this. I am not a professional. I only found out that I'm autistic a couple years ago, so obviously my knowledge is not going to be like totally infallible or anything. But I can talk about my personal experience. So, my parents always knew that there was something going on. My parents thought, well, maybe she's autistic, but you know, I got good grades and it didn't seem like I was suffering or anything. So we just kind of let it go. Ironically enough, I know this is a very touchy subject because there's a lot of people who complain about people on TikTok diagnosing themselves with autism and they don't know what they're talking about, and everyone's just collecting mental illnesses like their Pokemon cards. With autism specifically, I personally don't see it like that, but that may be just because of my own personal experience. I downloaded TikTok during the pandemic, and my For You page slowly just started showing me a ton of like relatable autism content, and I got really mad because I was like, oh my gosh, all these people trying to convince me I have autism, that's terrible. I can't be autistic, I'm not nonverbal. Basically, I didn't meet the stereotype of what like the media told me what autism was, so I just didn't believe them. And then it just kept going, and it kept happening, and I kept seeing more and more stuff, and then I started going, oh no, well, you know what, this is getting past relatable, this is like kind of explaining my entire life. So I started looking into it, doing a little more research, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get assessed by a professional in a specific autism diagnosis facility. So now I have the paperwork that says I am in fact autistic, and actually the paperwork's pretty funny because the woman who assessed me was just like, oh my god, like literally, how did you not know? How did you not know? She clocked me in like 5 minutes, and I was like, aw. I mean, great, I guess, but aw. But yeah, without rambling too much about it, because again, I'm not a professional, so probably don't take my advice on anything, but I just want to make sure that my channel is a safe space for people who have neurological disabilities or physical disabilities like I also have. I know a lot of people can be really mean and tell you like, oh my god, everyone thinks they're autistic nowadays, you should shut up and don't say it online. But when you're on my channel, I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable. I know some of you are probably dealing with autism, ADHD, things like that, and if I see anyone being ableist in the comments, comments, you are getting blocked immediately. This is a safe space. Alright, now that the more touchy subject is over, let's get into the next question. What's your favorite song or musical artist? So currently my favorite song is Black Swan by TWRP, featuring Dan Avidan, because my favorite musical artist is Dan Avidan. I told you guys, I am a Game Grumps fan, but I love Dan Avidan. He is so cool, he seems so nice, and he just has such an amazing voice, you know? And I'm super excited because I'm actually gonna go see him in concert pretty soon, and I'm gonna freak out. I'm a huge fan. My favorite bands currently are TWRP and Shadow Academy, which TWRP features Dan Avidan sometimes, but not all the time. And Shadow Academy was created by Dan Avidan and his friend. Shoot, I cannot remember his name. I'm so sorry. I'm a fake fan. But I even have a Shadow Academy t-shirt. Love their music. Definitely check it out. Next question, what's your favorite video game? I have to say, if I could only play one video game for the rest of my life, it would probably be Don't Starve Together. It's kind of tied with Terraria, but like, Don't Starve Together is so good, and they're constantly having massive updates. So probably Don't Starve Together. Next question is, what's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? Obviously the strawberry one. No, you want a real answer? I'm kidding. Raspberry Frosted. I absolutely love raspberry anything, and raspberry Pop-Tarts are slightly better than strawberry Pop-Tarts. Somebody asked, who do you like more, Miku or Taito? That is a hot topic right now, because oh my gosh, Taito really exploded in popularity over the last year. It's crazy. But at the risk of sounding like a hipster, I liked Taito before she was cool. Back when I was 14 and like downloading all her Utao voice banks, making covers with them. So I love Miku very much, but I would have to say Taito between the two. But my favorite Vocaloids of all time are probably Lily and Rin. Next question, if you could have one extremely lame superpower, what would it be? I've thought long and hard about this, and I feel that if I had to have one really lame superpower, it would have to have something to do with Dr. Pepper. So, my superpower would be the ability to conjure one ice-cold Dr. Pepper in a bottle every day, but only once a day. No drawbacks, nothing. Just instant magic Dr. Pepper once a day. It's pretty lame, but it would make me very happy. Next question is, what career would you get into besides YouTube? Like I said, YouTube is not my main income. I have part-time jobs. I mostly just do customer service. But if I were to choose like an actual career, I would love to be a statistics analyst. I really like stats and data and stuff. It sounds a little nerdy, but I just think it would be really neat. Someone asked, what's some restaurant food that you like? I'm a huge Taco Bell fan. I like Wendy's too. They've kind of gone downhill over the years, and they're like super expensive now. I mean, everywhere is, but I like Taco Bell a lot. I'm a huge fan of the cheesy Fiesta potatoes and the spicy potato soft taco because I love potatoes. And a good Baja Blast, of course. Oh my gosh, so good. Next question is a kind of two-parter. Do you have a partner? And do you have any romantic advice for us newbies? I don't have a partner, and I probably never will. I'm really not interested in any kind of relationship, and I'm very happy being single, so I'm probably gonna die alone, and I'm gonna be really happy about it. So unfortunately, I don't really have very much romantic advice for anyone, at least not based on experience, but I think the most important thing that I can say is find someone who respects you and does not push your boundaries. And if they push your boundaries, that means they do not respect you. Always know your worth and don't put up with anything that makes you uncomfortable, no matter who it is. Next question, if you had one wish, what would it be? It sounds really lame, but probably just to always be financially stable. I mean, I feel like that's everyone's wish, but if I had to choose a wish that wasn't lame, I would wish to not outlive my birds because I want them to live as long as I do, so we can stick together and make everyone around us miserable for the rest of our lives. Actually, that's funny. Next question is, what's your special interest? I'll give you 3 guesses. Birds, birds, more birds. Specifically parrots. I love parrots very much. And if you ask me questions about them, I will never shut up. And that brings us to the last question in this Q&A. How did your love for birds begin? Well, it's actually kind of a sad story, but I mean, it turned out good. But I grew up with cats and dogs, and I think we had parakeets when I was young, but I didn't really remember them. So I wasn't super into birds from like a young age or anything. But my favorite cat that I grew up with ended up passing away, and I was really, really sad, and we just didn't have any animals in the house, and we were all so sad. Every time we came home, there was just nothing there. Nothing to greet you, and it was just super depressing. We weren't really sure if we wanted to do a cat again because it was just, you know, pretty raw. We had just lost her a couple months before, and it was rough on all of us. But my mom suggested, well, maybe we get a parakeet. And I was like, a parakeet? That's lame. Why would I get a parakeet? That's stupid. All they do is sit in a cage and chirp at you all day. Like, I don't understand why you would want that as a pet. But I started doing more research on parakeets, and I learned that they can have their own personalities. Some of them can learn to talk, and they're just like really interesting. They're really cool, and they're a lot smarter than people give them credit for. Like, when you think of parrots, you think of, like, I don't know, Apollo, which I love Apollo. Apollo's amazing. Galask. Shrock. I swear half my vocal stems come from Apollo. But larger parrots can have the intelligence of like something like a 7-year-old child. Like they're incredibly intelligent. It's really crazy. That's why Apollo's so smart. But parakeets are smart too. Unfortunately, because they're very cheap, a lot of people will buy them and then neglect them and they end up dying young, which is a super bummer, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but like I'm very, very serious about proper bird care. Parrots, including parakeets, are an absolutely terrible pet to keep. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loves parrots. Like, I do not recommend it. And there's a reason why most people who have parrots do not recommend getting parrots. They are so incredibly hard. They're super messy. They will destroy all your stuff. They're very expensive to keep. And they're also very fragile. You have to uproot basically your entire life if you get a parrot because their lungs are like super sensitive. So you can't have like Teflon pans. You can't burn candles. You can't use like air fresheners or Febreze or like even perfumes or anything like that. So you have to give up a lot of stuff that you might really like to get a parrot. And to me, obviously, it was worth it because I love my birds so much. But yeah, don't get a parrot. Just don't. It's terrible. You have to be a special kind of crazy to be a bird person. And I just so happen to be that kind of crazy. But anyway, that was the last question. Thank you guys so much for asking me so many questions. This was a long recording session, mostly because I didn't script it. So I'm just like rambling and I'm gonna have to cut out a lot of stuff. But it was a lot of fun and I really appreciate you guys for reaching out and asking me questions. If I didn't get to your question, I am sorry. I wasn't able to get to everyone's questions, but I answered most of them, I think. And who knows, maybe I'll do another Q&A in the future if more people ask questions that I didn't cover today. But that's all for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more from me in the future, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all those fun YouTube things. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!